CTV News, I'm Angele Schembri.
And I'm Lauren Healy. Tonight, more information on a car crash that left 4 people injured.
But first, the latest on the recent death of South African President Nelson Mandela. It's our top story tonight on CTV News. Former South African President and Nobel Peace Prize laureate died today. Mandela was 95 years old. Current South African President Jacob Zuma made the announcement this afternoon that the country's greatest son was gone.
Fellow South Africans, our beloved Nelson Rolihlahla Mandela, the founding president of our democratic nation, has departed. He passed on peacefully in the company of his family around 2050 on the 5th of December 2013. He is now resting. He is now at peace.
Mandela fell out of the public eye in recent years as he battled several bouts of illness. During South Africa's apartheid era, Mandela spent 27 years in prison before emerging as his new country's new democratic leader.
Older drivers, their friends and families are being advised to check out the many resources available to help keep drivers safe in Pennsylvania. Older Driver Safety Awareness Week is nationally recognized through December 6th, and PennDOT's mission is to maintain a balance with the need for mobility among older drivers and having safe roadways, especially since 19% of Pennsylvania's 8.9 million licensed drivers are 65 and older. Approved classroom and online driver improvement courses are available for older drivers, which can minimize the chances of a crash. These courses are available at www.justdrivepa.com by clicking on the Older Driving link under the Traffic Safety Information tab. Courses are offered statewide and fees vary. Taking these courses will result in reduced insurance costs of at least 5% premium discount when the policyholder of 55 or older successfully complete them. Moreover, older drivers who no longer drive can choose between 2 state public transportation programs, either using the public fixed route bus service provided free for senior citizens 65 and older, or the shared ride program for senior citizens. More information can be accessed on www.pacommutes.com.
A 2-vehicle crash on Monday afternoon left 4 people injured. According to police, driver Sharon Cravener of New Bethlehem failed to stop for the sign at the intersection of Route 322. A truck driven by Robert Telles crashed into the side of Mrs. Cravener's car, sending it rolling over on its side. Telles's truck continued eastbound and stopped as it struck a telephone pole. Both drivers were taken to hospital for treatment, as well as the 2 passengers in each vehicle. Howard Stearns of Clarion, who was in the Cravener car, and the 10-year-old boy who was a passenger in Telles's truck.
2 people were left injured after a car crash Tuesday afternoon on Route 322 in Clarion Township. According to Clarion-based state police, the crash occurred around 1:20 p.m. when 19-year-old Knox resident Sean A. Sloan lost control of his car while driving east on River Hill. Police say Sloan's car started to spin clockwise and ran into a westbound vehicle driven by 61-year-old Jack L. Eck of Clarion. Eck's vehicle collided with the passenger's side of Sloan's car. Both drivers received minor injuries during the crash.
For the last semester, Clarion's College of Arts and Sciences has been without a dean. Former Dean Dr. Rachel Prelo resigned from the position last year after serving 5 years as the head of the college. Dr. James Foster was named interim dean this past January, and the search has been on to find a permanent replacement for the college. Applicants from across the country have been interviewed and considered for the position, and Clarion wants to hear what the students of the college want in their next dean. This week, Clarion hosted 2 events for students to chat with the candidates to be the new dean. Meetings were held this past Monday and earlier today in STC. There is no word yet on when Clarion will select a new dean.
Ridership on the Clarion area transit buses have doubled, and that's according to Clarion Student Association Director Shelley Wilson. More than 17,000 people rode the buses in October 2013, up from 9,000 in October 2009. CSA has opened up more routes and extended hours within the last 3 years, and something Wilson attributes to higher number of riders. Wilson is happy that the students are utilizing this free service.
We're very pleased with those numbers. We're very excited with the fact that our students are embracing the transportation system and accessing it.
Wilson says she expects the numbers to continue to increase over the next few months due to the winter weather.
With finals week right around the corner, Clarion University is planning multiple events to help students do their best on finals. The most popular finals week event, the late night breakfast, kicks off this Sunday. CUTV was able to sit down with Eagle Commons employee and find out how the late night breakfast will help students succeed on their final exams.
We're hoping it benefits them where they kind of have a de-stressor before the finals start, and then they can get a good night's sleep. Even though they'll be getting to bed later than normal, they can kind of have a good night's sleep because they won't be thinking about finals right before they go to bed, and just kind of relax and enjoy their time with their friends. And then seeing the faculty and staff here and everything will hopefully help as well.
Clarion University is host to over a dozen international exchange students this semester, and CUTV's own Angele Schembri is one of them. I had the chance to sit down with her earlier this week and talk about her experiences in America. Clarion University is home to more than a dozen international exchange students this semester. Students are here from all over the world, from Saudi Arabia to Ecuador and everything in between. Malta is the home country of 23-year-old Angele Schembri, who is one of the several students who came over to the United States in August. Schembri knew from a young age that she wanted to study abroad, but didn't necessarily know where.
I've been wanting to do it since a very young age, so I had never actually thought about America before a year ago, sort of. I was going to go study abroad in Europe. I was accepted to go study in Sweden, and I didn't have enough money at that time, so I decided to apply the next year and apply for America or Canada and go further than Europe.
Schembri is here through the exchange program. Clarion University was her first choice because of the communications program. Schembri is an active member of Clarion University's student-run television station CUTV, where she anchors and reports. Also, while being here, she found a new love for advertising, and one professor sticks out the most.
Dr. O'Neill, she's pretty amazing. She's really nice. She's one of the nicest professors I've ever met, because since we only have one university back at home and all the students are in that university, it's big considering, and we're just a number, so we don't get that one-on-one interaction with the professors. And here with Dr. O'Neill, she makes you feel like you're accepted.
While being here, Schembri was able to travel all over the United States, which is something she had in mind from the beginning.
We've been to Pittsburgh, we've been to Niagara Falls, Buffalo, New York City. We went to DC, Virginia, and we drove through Maryland.
Now Angele is able to keep from getting homesick by using items such as her laptop and her cell phone.
I speak to my mother every day, either through Skype or through Facebook messages, but if I don't speak to her for 2 days, she starts worrying, so I try and speak to her every day and let her know that I'm okay.
Schembri wants to encourage all students to study abroad, even though she herself was hesitant at first.
Go for it. It may be scary at first. Before I left for the States, I was actually not regretting applying, but it was too hectic packing, the paperwork. I was like, what did I do? My last couple of years, I should have finished my degree here and not gone through this hassle. But go for it. It will be hectic, but it will be worth it in the end. So,
Lauren Healy, CUTV News. Now, Angele, like we saw, you got to take so many trips here being in America, New York City, Pittsburgh, Washington, D.C. What was a trip that really stood out to you the most?
The trip that stood out for me the most was Pittsburgh, actually, because I've heard so much about New York City, and I was actually expecting it to be so beautiful, but Pittsburgh, I had never heard anything about it, and it's pretty amazing.
Absolutely.
So
Pittsburgh
really
is a really beautiful city, and it's kind of like its own little treasure. It's not really talked up much, and
exactly.
It's not really a big travel point, but
it's a hidden gem.
Absolutely. I'm glad you're enjoying your time in America.
Oh, I am. Bree Lehman joins us now with our first look at weather.
Well, we had a beautiful day today. I hope, well, I mean, it rained, but nice temperature. I hope everybody enjoyed it, because that's going to change drastically come tomorrow. You will get to see all of that change coming up for the next coming week into finals after this commercial break and a first look at tonight's schedule.
Good evening, Clarion. I'm Bree Lehman here with your Thursday evening weather report. As we start off, as we always do, with the almanac, we take a look. Our normals for today, 39 degrees with a low of 24. Higher than that today. That's going to change. We actually hit 58 and a low of 34. Records were 64 degrees, if you can believe it, for December, and a low of -1. Glad we weren't anywhere near that. The sun rose today at 7:28 a.m. and has already set as our days are getting shorter at 4:53 p.m. As we take a look at right now, like I said, pretty mild temperatures for now, 48 degrees, cloudy with winds pretty mild at north-northwest, 10 miles per hour, and only a 20% chance of precipitation. We look at the current conditions around Pennsylvania. Erie, 45 degrees. Like I said, Clarion, we're sitting at 48 degrees. Pittsburgh is at 57 degrees. We move over and look over here. Harrisburg, really warm at 60 degrees for December, and then Johnstown at 48 degrees. Moving on to our overnight, 42 degrees. This is when we start turning over with some more weather. Showers starting tonight at winds with north-northwest at 9 miles per hour and a 60% chance of precipitation. So watch out, it's going to start getting wet, and as that happens, the temperatures are going to drop. As we see tomorrow, 34 degrees and this wintry mix coming down with a 100% chance of precipitation. So you will see some snow, you will see some rain. It's going to be a mess tomorrow. Be careful. As we take a look, tomorrow's highs across the nation, pretty cold all over. You see Rapid City with 22 degrees, Omaha here at 16, and Denver at 17, even Dallas and Phoenix, Dallas at 30, and Phoenix at 55. Like I said, pretty chilly temperatures all over the United States. We move on here to our 8-day outlook that doesn't look so good. Friday, like I said, 34 with that wintry mix. Saturday, we see a little break from precipitation, but frigid 29 degrees. And then we move on Sunday and Monday. It starts getting worse, 28 degrees. And then it rains a little bit on Monday for 37, but that drops the temperatures even worse. Tuesday, 20 degrees. Wednesday, 20 degrees with snow and a low of 7 degrees there. Thursday and Friday, a little bit of snow, a little bit of sun, but pretty chilly temperatures to finish out finals week.
Well, it seems like it's getting colder. I quite liked the past couple of days.
Yeah, it's going to be a drastic change. We got really a tease of warm weather, and then it's going to drop drastically and be really snowy off and on all week for people going home from the end of finals week. So if you're traveling next week, make sure you be careful.
Thank you, Bree.
Thanks, Bree.
Coming up next, car burglaries have been on the rise in Shaler
Parenting
Township.
a new baby is exciting but often confusing. How do you know if your behavior is spoiling the baby or helping him thrive? Susan Hendricks gives us more tips in today's Health Minute.
New parents are often concerned that they may spoil their newborn, but there's no need to worry.
In the first few months, it's not possible to spoil your baby. If your baby's crying, then she really is trying to communicate that she needs something. She may be wet or dirty, she may be hungry, she might be cold, or she might just want to be held. So it's very important to attend to her needs.
But at about 6 months of age, babies can learn to start to manipulate their parents.
If you've checked everything and the baby doesn't really need anything, then it's okay to let them cry it out a little bit before attending to them.
Babies have different cries depending on their needs. Tanya Kotari is learning the meaning of her 3-month-old's various cries.
You can tell when they're hungry. It's like a blood-curdling scream.
But no two babies are alike, and sometimes letting them cry it out is not the answer.
If your baby is really hungry at midnight, then it's very important to feed her. If the baby gets even more agitated and crying it out doesn't settle her down, then put that technique aside for a few weeks or months and maybe try again later.
Babies can be hard to read, so if you're struggling, ask your pediatrician for help. For today's Health Minute, I'm Susan Hendricks.
Coming up next, car burglaries have been on the rise in Shaler Township.
Plus, a fight in a Pittsburgh school involved 20 students and a dozen police officers.
As we go to break, here's a look at today's stocks.
It's easy to tell if you've had way too many. But what if you've had just one too many? Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Tired of waiting till next summer to get your tan back? Then come on down to Total Body Tanning Center on Main Street. Fully equipped with 10 beds ranging from basic to the most powerful Star Power, 2 standing beds, and a vanity area. Total Body has everything you need to get that perfect tan. Choose from a wide array of lotions, body stickers, skinny wraps, and more. Total Body accepts $80, offers monthly specials, and even has a drawing for a free tan for one customer each week. So don't wait till next summer. Come on down to Total Body Tanning Center, located at 535 Main Street, right next to the county seat.
So, I got this new family, and I don't know what it is about this one, but she can't seem to put down that toy all day long. Tap, 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 tap. Oh, and she even talks to it. She talks to that more than she talks to him. What's up, bro? Nice shirt.
Multiple car burglaries have been on the rise in Shaler Township. Over a couple dozen cars have been broken into in the last month. Police officers said most of it is happening overnight, the time frame being from midnight to 5 a.m. Police also say the cars that were broken into were all unlocked. No one has been hurt in these crimes, and the break-ins aren't violent, and in fact they're not taking much, passing over big items such as GPSs to steal loose change. Police ask anyone who sees anything suspicious to call 911.
Pittsburgh police are looking for the driver who crashed their vehicle into a vacant building in Pittsburgh's Larmier neighborhood overnight. The driver hit the old barber shop at the corner of Mayflower Street and Lincoln Avenue and then quickly left the scene. The accident happened around 1 a.m. and the SUV had been reported as stolen in Wilkinsburg. No one was hurt in the crash, but building inspectors were classed into assess the damage to the building. And in other news, 3 people were hurt when a Port Authority bus collided with a car late last night. The accident happened around 11 p.m. at 18th and Josephine Street in Pittsburgh. Emergency officials said all 3 victims suffered minor injuries. The cause of the crash was not immediately known.
Dozens of fast food workers went on strike in downtown Pittsburgh Thursday morning, joining other low-wage workers and labor organizers across the country in support of higher wages. Organizers says that walkouts were planned in 100 cities, with rallies set for another 100 cities. Workers are calling for a wage of $15 an hour and the right to form a union. These actions are part of a push by labor unions, worker advocacy groups, and the Democrats to raise the federal minimum wage of $7.25. President Obama says he would back a minimum wage of $10 an hour, addressed income equality in a speech yesterday. The speech coincided with growing national and international attention to economic disparities.
A large fight broke out this morning at Perry High School in Pittsburgh involving at least 20 students. Dozens of police responded to the fight, and the Pittsburgh Public School District brought in Pittsburgh police as backup. Students were taking the Keystone exams, a state-mandated test, when the fight started in the gym or community room. The brawl began on Wednesday night in a North Side neighborhood due to some bad blood and ran into the school day today. Officials say 2 students began the fight and others joined in. One student injured his hand by hitting it into a wall or window, but no other injuries have been reported. School district police will continue to investigate this story.
A crash in Fayette County injured a mother and 2 of her children this morning when their SUV hit into a house. The crash was reported around 9 a.m. in the 300 block of Massmore Road in German Township. The car ran 3 feet into the living room of the home. The homeowners were inside the house at the time of the accident, but they were not harmed. The passengers of the car were taken to the local hospital. There has been no words on their conditions. And Matt Petrillo joins us tonight with sports.
Now, Matt, the Clarion women's volleyball team got a bid from the NCAA Division II to play. I heard that their game was today and they had a success.
Yes, they did. They can keep their dancing shoes on, Lauren, as the volleyball team is moving on in the NCAA Division II tournament as they defeated Seton Hill. That story is coming up. Plus, the men's and women's basketball teams took on UPJ last night. That's also coming up. Plus, an update on Florida State quarterback Jameis Winston facing felony charges of sexual assault. That's all next in sports.
Or just an order away. With a wide variety of options and a friendly, informed staff, you can get just the thing you need to satisfy that craving.
We are open year-round, and our frozen custard is made fresh daily.
In a hurry? Don't fret. The Meadows has a convenient drive-thru for your busy days. The Meadows is located at 22671 Route 68 near the Clarion Mall.
Get caught buzzed driving, and you could do some hard time.
Craig, knock it off.
Sorry, Mom. It could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. And that could set you back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Have all your printing, copying, and promotional needs met at Pages, Clarion University's own printing and graphics express service. Open to faculty and students, Pages can print and design posters and vinyl banners to help promote your big event. Our state-of-the-art wide format printer allows you to get your items printed at lightning fast speed. All of your organization's promotional needs, from clothing and pens to keychains and mugs, can be easily and quickly made. With new machines, Pages is your one-stop shop for all of your quality printing and processing needs. Call us at 814-393-2679.
Good evening, Clarion. I'm Matt Catrilla with your Thursday night sports report. Despite a career-high 30 points from freshman Kelly Johnson, the Clarion women's basketball team dropped their second game in a row, 98-81, at the hands of PSAC newcomer Pitt Johnstown. Johnson is the first player to score 30 in a game since Raven Jones in February against Lock Haven. She shot 12 of 17 from the field and 6 of 8 from the free throw line. With Clarion only down 9 with 6:07 to play, Pitt Johnstown answered with a 10-0 run to put the game on ice. Clarion returns to the court Saturday, December 14th at Wheeling Jesuit. Up 8 with 13:28 to play, the Clarion men's basketball team was unable to finish the job, dropping their contest with Pitt Johnstown 78-68. The loss spoiled a 22-point effort from junior Demarius Miller. The Golden Eagles would score only a basket in the next 6 minutes, allowing Pitt Johnstown to make the comeback. Clarion fought back to get within 2, but the Mountain Cats slowly pulled away for good with 3 minutes to go. Mike Kromka also chipped in with 11 points, including a monstrous dunk at the 11:03 mark in the first half. Head coach Ron Ryder remains at 398 career wins at Clarion. The Golden Eagles return to action next Sunday, December 15th, hosting Penn State Beaver. And as I mentioned before, the Clarion women's volleyball team getting a 3-0 sweep today at Seton Hill. As there was the 2-7 matchup. Carly Baranowski with 14 kills and 12 digs in the win. Hannah Heater with 8 kills. Laura Subject with 31 set assists, as well as 13 digs. And Clarion will now take on Cal U tomorrow afternoon at 5 o'clock. And wrapping out, Jameis Winston, the Florida State quarterback, will not be facing charges. He was facing felony charges of sexual assault against a 19-year-old woman at an off-campus apartment, but he was found obviously not guilty of those charges. So now he and the rest of Florida State can get ready for the ACC Championship this Saturday night at 7:45 on ESPN, as they will take on 24th ranked Duke. That's all for sports. Have an Eagles-tastic night. Let's send it back to Angele and Lauren.
Matt, it's so awesome to see the volleyball team doing so well, after losing their playoff game and, getting a bid from the NCAA Division II. What kind of so they're going to be playing tomorrow against Cal.
They'll be playing tomorrow night against Cal U, and it'll be the third time that they're facing. This is the second time that they're going to face a division opponent 3 times in 1 year. So another tough task upcoming for Clarion tomorrow night.
All right, we'll be excited to watch.
I'm excited too.
Thanks, Matt.
A powerful explosion has killed at least 17 people in Sana'a, the capital of Yemen. It happened outside the defense ministry. Witnesses say after the blast, armed men and security forces engaged in a gun battle. Roads in the area have been shut down and checkpoints set up.
The UN says the Central African Republic is descending into complete chaos. The Security Council unanimously approved deploying African and French forces there. France says the country is on the verge of genocide and the violence there shows no sign of ending. 8 people were reported killed and 65 wounded in the latest fighting in the capital. The council also voted to impose an arms embargo to the country.
A YouTube video that was intended as a joke has turned into a nightmare for a Minnesota man and his family. The man has been imprisoned in the United Arab Emirates since April, and his family back in the U.S. is frustrated and pleading for his release.
Shazan Qasim is behind bars in Abu Dhabi for this.
Home of the deadly Satwajis.
A parody video the 29-year-old from Minnesota posted online. In it, he pokes fun at a clique of teens who are being trained in a fictional combat school to patrol the streets of suburban Dubai.
Excuse me,
It's a very dangerous area. Where are you going?
The 19-minute video begins with a disclaimer explaining it's fiction. Portraying themselves as wannabe gangsters, you can see Qasim as he and others learn to throw shoes as weapons and use cell phones to call for backup. Qasim, who has worked in Dubai for 7 years as a business consultant, has now been in jail since April because of the video. He was interrogated and arrested in Dubai before being transferred to a maximum security prison in Abu Dhabi. His family says it was 5 months before he was notified of the charges against him. Authorities in the United Arab Emirates claim the comedic video violates cybercrime laws and poses a threat to national security. But Qasim's family says they haven't been told why the video endangered security, and they say the law wasn't passed until after the video had been released. 2 bail attempts rejected. His next court date is December 16th.
We don't know what's going to happen, and that's the difficulty here. There's no predictability to it. There's no end in sight. It could end tomorrow. It could keep going as it has been, postponed week after week after week after week.
His family continues to plead to the U.S. government for help.
What I think we need to do is to call attention to this so that the United Arab Emirates steps back and looks at this again and expedites this case so that there's justice for this young man and his family.
Officials in the United Arab Emirates did not respond to CNN's requests for details about the charges Qasim faces and why.
That's the news for tonight. Britzi Hall and Priya Royster will be here tomorrow at noon, updating you in the latest news, weather, and sports.
And we would like to take the time, CUTV, to thank Angele Schembri for being here with us this semester and wish her the best of luck in the future.
Thank you very much, Lauren. It's been great to be here. For Brie Lehman, Matt Cotrillo, and everyone here at CUTV News, I'm Angele Schembri.
And I'm Lauren Healy. Don't go away. We have a full night of programming here for you tonight, and Entertainment Lately is up next.